Welcome to another Tony Too Tough video. I'd like to give a special shout out to JC Mountain Ajar. This was an inspiration from your videos that made me want to do this one. Now, I want to be very crystal clear here. I do not have a ton of knives, right? But I have a few. And I have the ones that I have are very specific. I want to break it down for you and show you what's inside. Thanks for sticking around. All right, so let's start off with some of my absolute all-time favorites. We're going to pull out, first off, my chopper. Cool thing about this chopper is this was made by one of my neighbors who's a blacksmith, and he did a phenomenal job. It's 1095 steel and it's full tang, right? Runs all the way along the length. It was made from a spring from an old Ford truck that he had cut, beat out, and hammered it out, and here it is. So let me get you a little close-up look at this. There it is. Now, on the other side, right, you'll see a little divot there. It held a bearing so that I could do bow drill. Never used it, lost the bearing. It was kind of a novelty of it, but I never once used it. I have my own bearing blocks. The next thing I love about this is the sheath itself. So it was handcrafted leather sheath. He did a phenomenal job on this. A couple of features I want to show you that I really like. And I'm going to bring it in close for that. Number one, it has this little, I don't know what those are called, but it's supposed to snap in place, right? You could snap it in place. That broke. So right here, I have a little tiny magnet, right? A little neodymium magnet. Down here, I have a canvas needle pre-threaded because it sucks to have to thread needle and thread in the dark at night. It's pre-threaded, so it's ready to go. And I've got a little bit of steel wool at the end. That's just in case I let my knife get rusty. I don't let that happen too often. I have a cutting tool. I have a canvas needle, and I have combustion because it fits a nice lighter right inside there. We're going to set that one aside. Let's get to the next one. Now, this is an all-time favorite of mine. It just is. And it's a $12, $15 knife. If you paid $15, you probably paid $3 too much for it. But it is my absolute camp go-to. It is my everything. It is my Mora companion. Here's the deal. I love it because it's a Scandinavian grind, right? And it just cuts through wood like butter. It is not full tang, so don't beat on it a whole lot. Little bit, little light tapping is fine. It's pretty robust. Holds up to a lot of stuff. Comes with a Kydex sheath, which I wrapped on there probably about 22, 23 foot worth of Tarred Mariner's bank line. Stuff is incredible. I love it. I use it for all kinds of stuff. On the back here, I've got a little tiny ferrocerium, keychain ferrocerium rod, right, with a striker on there. So it's all ready to go. So I have fire. I have combustion, 1C. I have cordage. I have 2Cs. I have a cutting tool, which is 3Cs. And then here at the bottom, I put about 8 foot of Gorilla tape, and that would be cargo tape. So I've got 4Cs out of the 10 right here on my hip. That's why I love this. I don't take this on every trip, right? On occasion I do, but this is another one of my go-tos. I really love this one. So this is made by Les Stroud, right? And it comes with a sheath. I attached about 12 foot of bank line on there, right? It has right here at the tip, look at that. It pops right out. And I got a small little ferrocerium rod. So with this, I have a cutting tool, I have cordage, I have combustion. It opens up. It's kind of wrapped up with some cord, but I have a signaling mirror attached. Now on the back, there's this cool little pocket. I keep a little bit of some charred material in there and some jute twine rolled up. So I checked it out the other day. It actually still works. It took a spark, and I've got several of the C's right here in this one. So at the bottom of my bag, I have another one of my cutting tools. This, and I'll show you, is the President Donald Trump. I don't know if it'll focus on there, but its right edge makes this. And it's a little folder. It's got one of these blades, which I don't really use too much. I kind of go to this one all the time. Like this is the one that I just used, and I just want to stay sharp. And this is my pokey one. It's got a little tip on the end. Boom, there it is. I like that little folder. And Jamie, if you're listening, you're watching, Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Since we're on the subject of Jamie, a good buddy, right? He gave me this knife too. This here is my everyday carry that I normally carry on my hip. It is a Damascus steel blade. I do want to show you this pins. The pin work on here is incredible. I love this little pin work. Hold on. The other side. There it is. See that pin? Like there's like several of them in there. Damascus steel blade, and it's full tang. Goes all the way across. I love that. This stays on my side all the time. For my next cutting tool, I'm going to pull out of the bag my Baco Laplander. This is my original one. I had to make some modifications to it. The little tab right here broke off. I hot glued a couple of nuts in there so that I can depress it. Boom. And I can depress it to close it. This Baco Laplander has been through a lot. I have abused this, I've used this, and it's phenomenal. It still works. I had to make some modifications to it because it is made of some plastic up here. That breaks. That was a weak point. That was the stress point on this, not the blade. You think it's the blade, right? It's not the blade. The blade's phenomenal. I bet the crap out of this thing. Goes right back, goes right back. It's so forgiving. I love this. This is my go-to. Put a little whipping at the end of that cord. Holds it all in place. This isn't a knife. Scotch eye auger. Now, what would I use this for? But just drilling holes through some wood. Now, if I need to make a peg to go in the hole that I just drilled, look at that. You see that? This is sharp on this end, so then you could put it over the stick and pound on it this end, and what comes out through the center will be the stick that fits the hole for this right there. I love this tool. I have a couple of them. I use them. I enjoy them. Thank you to my sons for the gift. And for my next trick in the bag, I got you. This is actually a knife, but it's a very specific knife. It is a hook knife for carving spoons, right? Or bowls. This thing is sharp. It's absolutely amazingly sharp. I keep a little bag over top of it because I don't want to cut myself. I mean, like it is razor sharp. It's incredibly sharp. So great tool to have. Don't carry it with me all the time. It's just when I'm using it for that project, I'm ready to rock and roll. One more thing about the Scotch eye auger. Now, I could pick it off the ground, but I happen to take this one with me because it's perfect and it works. The number one reason I use it for, because it fits my Scotch eye auger. And then I can drill down with this, right? So it wedges right perfect in there. It's got a nice little spot and it's perfect. Gets the job done. Now, you know, I don't like to carry tools that don't have a dual purpose to it, right? So on this stick, I have, you can see it here, I have a little hook right there. You see that? There you go. All right, I got a hole drilled through it so it can lift up my pot off of the fire, off the bale. Just reach down there and grab it. There we go. It also works as a makeshift stake if I needed it. If I ran out of them. So there's 3 in 1. That's why I'm carrying it. Yes, I know. Why am I bringing wood into the woods? But do I want to sit there and look around and find and whittle? This weighs nothing. And it's got 3 purposes. Camp kitchen, a stake, and most definitely number 1 purpose right there. Now let's go ahead and discuss some of my favorite hatchets, right? From tomahawks, the hatchets, to an axe. My absolute full-time favorite one, right? Made to me by a buddy by the name of Jamie. But this is my tomahawk. Now, there's a lot to this, and I did another video on this one altogether. He used, you see the burn marks, like the electricity burn marks. He used the inside of a microwave oven, stuck electrodes in here, turned it on, and it with saline water, it sent electricity all through there and put these really cool lightning bolts in there. That's burnt in. That's not wood grain. He burnt that in. Put a couple of designs on there. He pounded this out of a piece of metal. He told me what it was. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I love this thing. And he was cool enough to leave these markings on there. Look at that. I love that that's still on there. Like he didn't take it off. He didn't make it all shine. I didn't want it all shine. Like I love that. And he used sinew to attach it right there. So I love this hatchet. It's my tomahawk. Actually, I keep calling it a hatchet. It's not. It's a tomahawk. And it's got a little hammer on the end, which is amazing. I may have discussed this before, but for my niece and nephew and my sister who may be watching, you may recognize this leather. This is from Nona's purse, right? My mom. I didn't have the heart to throw away her purse. It was an Italian leather purse, so I went ahead and harvested the leather from it, and I made a crude but effective leather sheath for this. Is it the perfect one? No, I'm not familiar with leather work, but I made it the best I could. I sewed it up, I put it together, and it works. I called it Yoli. That was my dad's nickname for my mom. Her name was Yolanda, or Iolanda, but he called her Yoli. So I take Yoli into the woods with me. It's got a sheath. It still smells like my mom's purse. I miss you, Mama. All right, stay on subject with Yoli if I can for just another minute. I went ahead and made the leather sheath out of the rest of her purse to make this for my axe. This was a restoration. This was pulled out of a fire, so I cleaned it up. Dan Wowak from Cold Cracker Bushcraft said, if you want a really cool bushcraft project, then go restore an old axe. Take some time, put some love into it, figure it out. You can't really mess it up. And if you do, you get to have fun making it again. It's no big deal. It's a lot of fun. So, and again, the sheath still smells like my mom's purse. I miss you, Mama. But Yoli goes back over here. So this is Yoli number 2. Right? Yoli number 1 for the tomahawk. You got it there. Yoli number 2 is the axe. Now, for camp chores, I need a limb tree, right? And I'm just trying to go through and I'm trying to clean it up. This is my SOG, gave to me by a very good friend of mine, Mark Hudson, right? Mark, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the gift. I use it and I use it often. And the final blade that I use, right? I use a lot. This is a Gerber machete. Comes with a sheath. It's been through the fire. It's been used. I got it too close to the fire. It's just a Gerber, right? Machete. And it's got a nice, decent handle on there. I never understood what the purpose of the serrations were. If you see the serrations on there, right? I know it's supposed to be a saw, but I mean, really, it doesn't. I think it's just a novelty part. I've never used it to really saw anything. I'm going to try real quick. I'll be right back. I'm not going to take you along with, but I got to go try. All right. I'm back, and I was wrong. It actually did. I went up to the oak tree right behind me that's holding this tarp up, and I went ahead and cut off a piece of just a limb that was on there. And dude, it made quick work of this. Pretty amazing. Not bad. I thought it was just a novelty, but apparently that part works. So, learned something new today about this thing. I always thought those saw parts were just kind of, just for show. Some of them are. All right, I'll be clear with you. Like some of them are just, this was effective. In review, my chopper, my Mora companion, my Les Stroud. I've got a Beavercraft spoon hook knife. I've got my folder, President Donald J. Trump. My Damascus blade, this on my hip all the time. I've got my Baco Laplander, my go-to saw, and I've got myself a Scotch eye auger. I've got 2 of these. I just didn't bring the other one out. That's pretty much so it. So I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank everybody who inspired me. J.C. Mountain Ajar, who it was his videos about knives that made me like, well, maybe I should do a knife video. Why not? Great channel, guys. If you haven't already gone to it, by all means, go subscribe, like, go to his channel, check out his stuff. The guy's a knife guru, has all the coolest stuff and great stickers too. So anyways, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. You don't have to go too far to get your dirt on. You just got to go out in the woods and get it on. Go on now. Now get!